This is fucking fun. Welcome to the Knicks Film School Postgame Show presented by FANATICS Sportsbook. It is your boy, Jonathan Macri. I am here with Jeff Johnson. There's no opening soliloquy from me because Jeff, can we just praise this team? Can we praise this fucking basketball team? I'm sorry. We got one more game to go. Not over yet. Still got to get one more. But could we just sit here for a minute and praise this team?
I wish I could play an organ. I wish I knew how to play an organ right now and that I owned an organ or maybe like a Casio that had organ settings.
Noises, yeah.
Yo, I've been a Knicks fan most of my life. I don't know who those guys are. I don't know if we're in an alternate reality where all of the so-called bad luck and same old Knicks and blah, 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 blah is going on. It feels as if somebody went into a fix this team generator and took every complaint that the consensus of fans had, entered it into the generator, pressed it to update the Knicks software. And this Knicks 3.0, they're looking like a championship team. They just handled business in a championship manner. We've been asking John. I said the Knicks are the best anime in the history of sports. This is the serious saga. We wanted to know how serious they could be. No OG. Cat has his worst game of the playoffs.
8 points, 3 of 8 from the field in foul trouble for much of the game.
Completely out of rhythm. And these guys still won by double digits comfortably. They had the Sixers tap out with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of a series where they know if they go down 3-0, it's curtains. And they literally are making these guys give up. It's incredible to watch.
I'll give you 2 more. OG, you mentioned OG out. Worth noting, arguably the best player in the Eastern Conference playoffs so far through however many games. The guy that stepped in the starting lineup for him, 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting. So it's not as if you directly got the replacement in the form of Deuce McBride. Deuce played well, don't get me wrong. I don't know that it was Nick who played poorly tonight, but it's not like you made up for it there. You mentioned Cat. And on top of all that, you spotted this team a 9-0 lead. And then they ended up winning going away. You said the C word, Jeff, and it's a C word that we have not tossed around very often. I mean, God knows there were years where there were many words tossed around. None of them were that C word. There were other C words tossed around. But even recently, it's like there's always a yeah, but. And that speaks to what you started with, where it's like this is a level of fan fiction because for the last several years, there was something that was a pebble in our shoe, right? And even tonight, when Sixers got off to that 9-0 lead, I was like, okay, it's fine. I wasn't expecting a win tonight anyway. This is the game, the team loses and then you go and you win game 4 and you hopefully get a gentleman's sleep. Championship teams win this game. And I'm not saying that because they won tonight, like they're definitely going to win a championship. Like, you know me, everybody watching this knows me well enough to know I'm not going to sit here and make any sorts of proclamations because a lot of stuff could happen, but they are capable. Like, and anybody who's not taking them seriously now, I don't know what else they would have left to have to show at this point, and we could get into the specifics of this game, but I am just the overall performance. And like, it was a combination of like, it was part workmanlike. It was part where you're dazzled at some of the skill level. I mean, we will talk about Jaylen Brunson. And then just like the defense has gotten to a point where this is the same defense that we watched give up 130 some odd points to the freaking Pelicans at the end of December. And like, my Lord. And without their best defensive player, it is astounding.
They have made the type of metamorphosis that you see over the course of seasons. You don't see this in season. There's few teams that go through that. Toronto is an example when they got Kawhi, but obviously they got a championship piece and he leveled up the whole team. This is a collective effort. We're watching the results of brick by brick, day in, day out, the trial and error experimentation that the Knicks have gone through throughout the season. We are now seeing the fruits of their labor. Like, this is just what it is. We have complained. We've asked about strategies. We've seen their naders. We've seen their peaks. This was all in service of the greater good, which was the playoffs. We didn't know how it was going to turn out.
No.
Who knew that going down 1-2 to the Hawks after losing 2 one-point games would be the final spark that they needed to say enough is enough and it's time for a change and we are going to handle business because the time is now. The time is now. There's no other time. There's too much parity in the league. Anything can happen. We see the path. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. It's the Lombardi. So we need to go through it. We need to meet it, and we need to run through the tape. Run through the tape. And that's what we're seeing. And above all else, and we'll get to the specifics.
Yeah, we'll get into it in a sec.
What we see, John. Yo, these motherfuckers know they're good.
Oh, they do.
And they know whoever's out on the other side can't mess with them whatsoever. And it's a different level of swag. You up it by looking at the fact that Jaylen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart put 2 more banners in Xfinity Mobile Arena than Embiid or Maxey have. That is their home. Mikal is from Philly. This is literally his home. And they're playing like they're comfortable. And if you needed any sense of how comfortable they were, Joel, you should have opened your purse a little bit wider because the Knicks fans took that trap over. Xfinity Square Garden is now in the building. I am so proud of these guys for not punting this game when it would have been easy to say, you got this one. They fought through everything. And we can get into it because they fought through a lot of bullshit.
The Sixers made pushes in this game. Like, there were moments throughout the night where the Sixers made plays, where they got a few stops, where the one thing the Sixers did tonight pretty well. They turned the Knicks over and they capitalized on those turnovers. And all of those felt like kind of big for momentum. And like, look, there were obviously a lot of Knicks fans in the arena, but like they did get their crowd juiced up from time to time. And then you got to the fourth quarter. And look, part of this is the fact that Nick Nurse has a team where he has 6 guys or 7 guys, whatever you want to call it. And he's just, running these guys to the ground. But the Knicks broke their will in the fourth quarter, and they broke the will of the city because the Sixers fans started leaving well before the proceedings were over. Just, we could say it, the Knicks are serious people. They are serious people. They are the serious team. And that's been what has been the biggest complaint for the last 2 years. No Knick fan or very few Knick fans, there's been quibbles about, you need a secondary creator or this or that. Nobody is sitting there over the last 2 years and being like, there's not enough talent on this team. No. It's the opposite. We have so much talent. Why isn't this better? Why isn't this more consistent? And so for them to now reach the level, and look, Brunson's probably the player. I think he's the player of the game just because some of the shot making was, it's Jaylen Brunson. We could talk about Bridges potentially being a candidate for player of the game. We could talk about Landry Shamet potentially being a candidate for player of the game. Maybe even 1 or 2 other guys. The guy who I want to talk about first, Jeff, is Mike Brown.
Ooh.
Because look, to whom much is given, much is expected. He was handed a roster that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But with that comes all kinds of pressure. And in particular, when you take over a team from that guy, the guy that he took over from, it's not like you're taking over a team from a normal head coach. And I mean that with love.
Yeah.
You are like, there is no whenever Tibbs coaches a team, it's like they embody him more than as much as any team embodies any coach. And so you are like partially like kind of digging up the foundation. If, in certain respects. And man, imagine the confidence to be able to come in and be like, no, I'm going to do things my way. And it might piss some people off, and it might actually piss off some of the wrong people, but I'm going to do it anyway because I believe that at the end of the day, it will pay dividends. And I thought about that tonight as Karl-Anthony Towns was not having a great offensive game and got into some foul troubles. And yet, who was there in the fourth quarter as a reliable defensive presence, completely bought in, completely locked in, was Karl-Anthony Towns. And I thought about that tonight when I saw Landry Shamet come off the bench, who Mike Brown was Mike Brown's boy for the whole season. Mm-hmm. And then we got to playoff time and it was like one game or two games. And it was like, sorry, man, what have you done for me lately? And not only did he not lose Landry Shamet came in and changed game two. And he arguably changed this game right here. And I could just keep going on. We could talk about how Brunson has kind of bought in and found that mold, that meld between what he used to be and like what Mike Brown wants it to be. We could talk about Mikal Bridges and the resurgence he's having. We could talk up and down the roster. Just like, man, you want to talk about a team that's in command of its faculties? This is a coach that is in complete and total command of what he is doing and this roster.
Yeah, bro. I see now what a lot of people saw when Mike Brown was hired.
Yeah.
And let's keep it real. He may not have been the first option or the second or the third. That doesn't mean he wasn't a good option.
Yeah.
And the way I equated it was, hey, y'all that got jobs, how do you know you were the first option? Mm-hmm. You really don't know unless somebody in the hiring manager or HR that's cool with you will tell you, yeah, you were our first person. You don't really know. You could have been the safety pick. Sure. That doesn't mean that you weren't good or qualified. That just means that they thought somebody else was better. But if you leave your place of employment better than when you left it, you would have done the same amount, the same type of job, the same level of success that they thought they were going to get. And in fact, from the number one candidate. And in fact, you may have surpassed what those other candidates could have done. I think Mike Brown, first of all, you got to give him credit. And it's going to sound stupid. Oh, well, he got $10 million to do X, Y, Z. There is a level of courage that it takes to take this job, following the guy that got them to the conference finals for the first time in a quarter century, knowing that the minute you step in here, anything short of finals is you're out of here, or you're going to suffer extreme scrutiny. He took it anyway, stuck through it. He went through his ups and downs. He said, I'm waiting for the downs because I want to see how my team responds. Won the NBA Cup, which I know unless you're a soccer fan or you're fully bought into the NBA, y'all might not care about it, but understand this team has been training in elimination games and games with stakes this whole season. Even through the downs where we just thought the starting lineup, get them out of there.
Yes.
We need to do something different, I got to give him kudos for sticking with what he thought was going to work, because it would have been easy to switch it up. It would have been easy to try something up. And maybe there's a part of me that thinks maybe you probably should have tried, but clearly he knew something we didn't. And you're seeing, once again, the results from a systematic building of habits.
Yes.
And a system that's empowering the players to improvise and to understand the rule book, understand the playbook, and be able to process at a higher level, because they were freelancing for a lot of the regular season, so that they knew once you get to the playoffs and you're playing a team night in and night out, the same team over and over, all that strategy eventually goes out the window, and you just got to get a bucket and you got to figure it out. More importantly, they know all your plays.
Yeah.
So now when you're flexing and you're just reacting to what's going on the court, John, I think that's my number one call with Mike Brown. Yo, these guys are countering counters.
It's intuitive. It's intuitive at this point. The offense is intuitive, and the defense might even be more intuitive than the offense. I'm so happy you brought up the starting lineup thing, because we kind of laughed about it at the time in terms of how he said it when he announced after Game 3 or ahead of Game 4, I should say, the Hawks series, where he was like, "I'm not telling you right now, but I'm telling you whatever it is, it's my decision." I don't know who he was saying that to, but that was a pointed comment. And again, we kind of laughed at it at the time, especially coming off of a couple of games where he maybe did not have his best games. And that decision to keep Mikal Bridges in the starting lineup, again, they won by 14. So I don't know if this is fair to say. But I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't think they win tonight if he benched Mikal Bridges and you did not get back the Mikal Bridges that we know is in there, who was, I think, at worst, the second best player on the team tonight. And I think you could push back on that. Again, you're not getting these results. And that is, you talk about empowerment. Man, that doesn't happen without empowerment. But it's like, it's the best of both worlds, because we could sit here and we could toss out the platitudes and the buzzwords that people talk about when they talk about teams. But there is an X's and O's, what we are witnessing on the offensive end, what we are witnessing on the defensive end. These guys have been drilled, man. These guys are operating like a well-oiled machine. It is scary how, I keep going back to the defense because I just can't. I've never seen a team defend like this. And they did it tonight without the best player.
Have. It just hasn't been a while. It's just been a while.
The last time I saw a team defend like this, with this level of consistency, with these stakes, it was a different sport. We're talking back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and even then, they were turning the clock back tonight.
No,
on one side of the court.
Oh, well, listen, the refs, they had themselves tonight. We're not going to talk about the refs. Let's disagree. Where do you want to start? Because at this point, sure, we could start with Jaylen Brunson because he's Jaylen Brunson, and I'll just read his stat line: 33 points, 11 of 22 shooting. And that 11 of 22 shooting, by the way, that is after he started 2 of 8 from the field in the first quarter. And that was actually the biggest reason why I was like, maybe it's just not our night, because Brunson was missing shots where you're like, man,
bunnies, all of that.
Easy stuff he makes in his sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And he was 2 of 8. And it was like, okay, well, after that 2 of 8, 9 of, if I could do some quick math, 9 of 14, got to the line 9 times. I'm pretty sure all 9 of those free throw attempts came after the first quarter. And 9 assists to 3 turnovers, which is actually 3 turnovers, a little bit much for him, but 9 assists, not bad. He's just brilliant, man. 5 rebounds for good measure.
Yeah, that's another thing that this team is doing. Team rebounding is huge with this team. Everybody's getting in on the action. And this is where Brunson shines the most. You have a lead in the fourth quarter. You're trying to shut the door. What is it that we've been talking about before, Macri, about the killer instinct? Do you guys got the killer instinct? Can you go for the head when it is time to go for the head? And Brunson is the guy who is the executioner. He was the one that was hitting those easy shots. They were starting to run those off-ball plays for him. So he didn't even have to really work on it. Now you get into a situation with the other team. You're up double digits. You can't go shot for shot with them. So now Brunson is going to go into Brunson mode, which kills the clock and gets a good shot. And I understand some people might be like, yo, run the offense. This is the equivalent of running the ball when you're up 2 touchdowns and with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You just killing the clock and you're forcing the other side to either call timeouts or to adjust. Like you try to double them. They had an answer for that. You tried to
made the right play every time.
They have all the answers to the test at this moment, and Brunson is the headmaster right now. Well, he is the lead. He's the dean of the Knicks right now. The way that he's going at these other defenses, and I just think, he was instrumental in closing the door. And we could backtrack another Mike Brown hat tip. he saw how the start of the fourth quarter started to look. He called. He went to the bullpen, called for the lefty, and said, "We are taking this game. We're not punting."
So massive 3 by Landry Shamet to end the third quarter, and then they had a nice defensive
6-point swing.
Yeah, it was a 6-point swing. Sixers missed their last shot of the quarter. Very smart foul usage by Mikal Bridges, which we're going to talk about in a second, to leave the Sixers with only 1.7 seconds left to get that shot off. They missed. Alvarado, Clarkson, Shamet, Hart, Cat lineup comes in. Clarkson makes some nice plays, hits that prayer, poked the ball away, but also turnover. And then you had Cat, which again, this wasn't really Cat's night, trying to isolate on Paul George. He hasn't really had to do anything like that in the playoffs so far. Like, his success has been on the move, and he obviously guarded him with a wing. So tough couple of minutes for Cat there. Gets down to 88-84. And then JB comes in, but who ends that run? Josh Hart. Josh Hart scores on
Was that the dunk?
It was around the basket. I forget if it was a dunk.
Oh, it was the supposed to be and one on Quentin Grimes. That was that one, right? Yeah.
Yes. And then after Philly played some very aggressive defense on Jaylen Brunson, because what the hell else are they going to resort to? Mikal Bridges makes the mid-ranger and puts them back up 8. And that was and then there was JB hit the boom 3 right after the Sixers turnover to make it 95-86. And that was pretty much it, and I thought it was so fitting that those 3 baskets from the 3 Villanova guys, Hart, Bridges, and then finally Brunson, essentially were like, oh, that was cute. You got within 4. You thought this was going to be a game down the stretch. No, it's not. We're going to put our foot down right now. Bridges in this game, and Bridges in this series, he 23 points, 8 of 14 from the field, perfect from the line, got the line 5 times. I am going to go ahead and look up when's the last time Mikal Bridges took 5 free throws in a playoff game. I have a
Phoenix.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I know there was a finals game for the Suns where Mikal Bridges took a bunch of free throws, but I will look it up right now. He was. I mean, is he the low-key MVP of the series because he has had to take on the Maxey assignment? And yes, they're defending Maxey with their team. Shout out Tom Thibodeau. But that shit sounds great. It only works if the guy, the first guy at the door, is holding it, or at least putting up resistance, and he's putting up all kinds of resistance.
I looked up Bridges' last 3 games before this one. He had 74-54 splits. 74 from the field, 55 from 3 in the last 3 games. So the first 2 games with the Sixers on about equal volume as OG. So for all we were raving about OG, and rightfully so, Bridges has been right there. He's been middle childed in the praise right now, because he's been equal, if not greater. If you want to, I don't think. You know what was crazy about this, John? I don't know who the MVP is. And that's another mark of depth at a championship team, because the only other team that I can low-key say that about in the semifinal series is in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That's the only, and you think about it, there's similarities with the depth, with the makeups and stuff like that. There are similarities to it.
Play different ways. They can play double big. They can play small.
Exactly.
They
have a variety of ways. Yeah. And I think you have to have versatility in this NBA, because look, let's be honest. The Sixers get so much credit for taking that series from the Celtics. Yeah. It is not disrespect to say that the Celtics equally handed that series to them, because here's what the Sixers are figuring out. Here's what the Sixers are figuring out right now. The New York Knicks were 9 of 27 from 3-point range.
Yeah.
Both teams equally hit 9 threes in the whole game.
Yeah.
The reason why you didn't have a chance to get back in this one is because the Knicks were not 9 of 57 from 3-point range. They are not going to bail you out with stupid shots. They are going to get the best shot available. And if after a while their threes are not falling, you got a guy like Brunson who could go get the bucket. You got a guy like McCall that's going to hit a mid-range. Josh at some point is going to disrupt. Cat is going to find somebody open for a high percentage shot or take one himself. They have so many ways that they can beat you in so many different facets. And then on top of that, when you pick your poison, it's hemlock on one side, it's a guillotine on another, and then you get Landry Shamet, which is just asphyxiation.
I want to say so you mentioned the low. The Knicks have not taken a ton of threes in this postseason relative to how many they took in the regular season. That can be seen as a sign of weakness when with certain teams who they don't really want to take the threes. Like you can leave them open because deep down they'll take them, but they're not dying to take them. The Knicks want to their guys are comfortable taking threes. All of these guys are comfortable taking threes. They're just playing smart, where they're we know if we keep moving the ball around and we keep moving ourselves, starting to sound like Clyde, we're just yeah, there are times obviously we're going to put up threes, but we could get better shots. And by the way, shout out to you. You were right. Mikal Bridges took more than 5 free throws in the game twice in that Brooklyn series against this Philadelphia 76ers team. So good job by you. What was I just going to say? Cat, you mentioned Cat. Let me be very clear. He didn't shoot well. He played a good game. Defensively, he was.
When we say worst, it's
it's relative.
It's like comparing all the A papers that you have, and then the one night where you waited until the night before to write the paper, and you were like, "I'm not really." Yeah, but it's okay. And then you get a B minus.
But you have the A for the course wrapped up, and it's
exactly. We're phoning it in, guys. It's May. I'm trying to get to the beach.
The whole dorm is going out tonight, or
right.
Whatever it is. Night. But 12 rebounds, including 4 on the offensive glass, 7 assists, only 1 turnover. Cat influenced the game positively. So yeah, shout out to him. And then you just mentioned Shamet. How about 15 points on 5 of 6 shooting? And yet the most impressive thing from him to me was not any of the shots that he made. It was in both of them were in key spots, but the first instance was really in a key spot. He knew time and situation and drew some smart fouls on the Sixers at the end. The first one was towards the end of the clock. That was going to be a busted possession. Yep. Then he drew a foul. I think it was on Quentin Grimes. Then he drew another foul later in the game. And again, it just goes back to Mike Brown. They you look at the different number of guys that they could rely upon. It cannot be overstated. I get it. McCall's kind of been just as good as OG for the last bunch of games. You're missing a guy in OG Anunoby who I wrote this in the newsletter today. There's no one else like him specifically in terms of what he does.
Irreplaceable.
He's irreplaceable. You can't fill that. That's a gap that it's all right, other people will have to do other stuff. You can't replicate what he does. He is a one-of-one force. The fact that they have other guys to go to where it's yeah, you knew OG wasn't out there tonight, and it definitely made their life harder. But at the same time, it's you didn't feel his absence, maybe, and that is with no disrespect to him. Do you know what I'm trying to say here?
No. It's a testament to this team picking him up that I didn't think about OG this whole game.
I didn't either. I didn't
think about OG. When Paul George started hitting some of them shots, I'm like, oh, okay. But then at the same time, he was hitting them and when OG was there too.
Yeah, look,
we called it on Playoff Hangover. It's first half P. You know what it is? It's you hold it until the first half, you go to the bathroom, and then the second half, you got no more P left.
Jeff, hold on. You're wrong. First quarter P. All 15 of his points tonight were in the first quarter.
Bro, first quarter P. So you got up, you went to the bathroom, you hung around the entrance and waited to see the final play, ran to the bathroom, got your pee out, came back, and for the rest of the game, you were dry. You didn't have nothing left in the tank, or it was enough to at least hold in. Maybe a little tinkle. But you had nothing left. This was the Winter Soldier tonight. Like this, he is Bucky Barnes now. He's not even the Winter Soldier anymore.
And there will be Sixers fans. Actually, I don't want to put myself in the minds of Sixers fans because I haven't had enough to drink to do that. But like, they'll be like, man, Tyrese Maxey, 8 of 12, efficient night. We got the Kelly Oubre game, right? We got the Kelly Oubre game, 22 points. You look at those two together, their stat lines are like, that is the biggest testament to the Knicks game plan and execution, because the whole freaking series that's been like, okay, we're not going to let these guys beat us. And in particular, when it comes to Maxey, we're not going to let that guy beat us. And if Kelly Oubre is going to go and have a great game, and yeah, Kelly Oubre got 22 points on 7 of 16 shooting. It was an efficient game. It was a very nice game.
He had a good game.
He had a really good game.
For the playoffs too, that was a good game.
It was a very good game. And yet at the same time, I gave you an N yet. It was a quick one, but I gave you an N yet. Tyrese Maxey took 12 shots in the basketball game, did not get to the line once. They accomplished their goal.
Wow.
And yes, in accomplishing their goal, Kelly Oubre like made them pay in a way. But like anybody who has watched the Sixer team at all, it's like, what would you rather deal with? 22 from Oubre, the way he got them, and 17 on 12 shots from Maxey, or what Maxey did to the Knicks a year ago in Game 5, where he was the most unstoppable force on the court, you know, and because that changes how you defend. The Knicks at no point in time tonight ever needed to adjust how they were playing defense because it was working. And I just like, I don't know if we want to start to, before we start to look forward, anybody else? We haven't really talked about Josh Hart.
So Josh had one of those Josh games where he persevered in spite of himself. Had some turnovers early on. It just felt like he was out of sorts, and him more than anybody. He had 4 turnovers in this one, right?
I think he was. I mean, he didn't make a 3. He took, what did he take, 3 or 4?
I'm
4.
not even worried about his shooting at this point.
It's the finger though, because he got an X-ray yesterday. He told reporters or he got an X-ray today, whatever it was.
That's the offhand though. That's not his. It wasn't his right.
You know that. Well, I'm always like, is that affecting him or whatever?
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. It just feels like he was hesitant a little bit at first, and then the shot just didn't. I think he
couldn't dribble as well as he usually can.
He wasn't challenging Embiid. Yeah. So, but whatever. He still impacted the game.
12 points, 11 boards. He's still. And here's the thing. You know, Josh could be like the operation guy, and he's still going to play solid defense. We already know that, right? Like he's just like, yo, where's my rib? Pick it out real quick. I gotta guard Paul George. All right, put the rib back in, right? Like that's what it is. He wasn't missing this game. He is the warrior.
He ain't gonna miss it again.
You know, but it's like this was a one where he had to persevere, and I think, funny enough, him more than anybody was affected by the whistle. And we're not going to get into it, but it's just like it goes without saying that the Knicks overcame a lot. No OG. There were points, and I'm just a sprinkle, John. Not too much, but
sprinkle.
I'm a salt bay it real quick. So, Joel Embiid is the greatest luchador basketball player I have ever seen. Wow. This man will tope suicida into players and get foul calls. This man does hurricane ranas. He does sunset flips. He does Mexican destroyers. He does all of these moves. He is one of the greatest high flying floppers we have seen in this sport. On the other side, he was able to break out 2x4s and hit everybody over the head with a Philly cheesesteak and not get a call. I understand. I'm somebody who I like no harm, no foul hoops. Just call it the same way. If we're not calling fouls, just don't call fouls. That first drive Cat had, he hit Cat 6 times. And on the other side, Cat touches his back. He falls to the floor. I've fallen and I can't get up. And it's a 4th foul on Cat. He needs to do that. This team needs to do that. And despite all of that, the Knicks as a collective kept their composure. So that Embiid, because he's a luchador, Embiid couldn't use his nefarious. You want to talk about dark arts? Embiid uses the dark hold. And some of the stuff that he does is unreal. That's not hoops to me. It's nasty hoops. It's unethical. And I hate that term, but it is. It's unethical hoops, bro. And they were still able to persevere. And one of the reasons why Mitchell Robinson.
I was about to say, I want to get to you led me right to it. But you want to know where all that got Embiid tonight? It got him 18 points on 17 shots, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, and 35 minutes of action. Joel Embiid, 6 rebounds. Maybe not going to cut it. Just throwing that out there. You're the biggest guy out there. But whatever. That's not for me to judge.
Let him keep shooting threes. Oh, and he got a poster for his trouble.
Well, on that note, can we put it up? Are we allowed to put this one up? I think we can.
I like fine art.
I love fine art, and you're not going to find finer art than this right here. If you're watching on the old YouTube channel, I think this deserves a like right here. My daughter just came to say hi. Isabel,
look at her face. She's startled. She's startled
very startled.
What happened
She's incredibly
with Mitch.
startled.
She's startled.
Yeah, no, I would be startled. Oh boy, she's very startled. But Jeff, do me a favor. I need you to wax poetic on Mitchell Robinson, the longest tenured Knick, by the way. Longest tenured Knick, because he wanted this matchup. He was excited about this matchup. He knew how this went down 2 years ago. And you want to talk about a guy who has absolutely come to play. I know he missed the last game, so we're only talking about 2 games as opposed to all 3. Like what Mitchell Robinson gave them tonight, and in a moment that they needed it because Cat got obviously in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's my guy, man. It's Money Mitch.
Listen, I'm a shout out. I'm a have a round of shout outs. First off, shout out to Andrew Claudio, our very own, who made the astute observation that the same hoop in which Embiid pulled Mitch's leg and effectively ended his season is the same hoop where he got hung in the Louvre. Okay? Art but make it sports is already on it. It is fine art. You could hang that in a cathedral. That's how crazy it looks. And I was so happy. I was so happy for Mitch because that had to feel cathartic. And then, of course, we go back down the court. Embiid hits Mitch with a 619, and they call a blocking foul on Mitch. Right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, he should wear the Rey Mysterio mask when he hoops, man. Like at this point, enough is enough. But this is what I want to say about Mitch. Mitch was drafted 2018. Fact check.
He was, yes.
Andrew, I know.
Yeah, no, he was drafted 2018.
When I think of Mitchell Robinson, I think about the classic blue jersey that they wore tonight. Those jerseys to me are reserved for quintessential Knicks that have that thread and that essence of hard-nosed, blue-collar, hard hat. We play defense. We get it out the mud. We're doing it dirty. We are the unheralded players. We are the ones that the everyday man loves to root for because that's how you play basketball. When I think about Mitchell Robinson and his tenure, he is the classic blue away jersey Knick. Like if I'm gonna get a Mitch Rob jersey, that's the one. I'm not gonna get the fancy Hasidic jerseys. I'm not gonna get the 3rd edition. I'm not gonna get the 3D print where you gotta crush your eyes to make the New York come together. I'm not getting none of those. I'm getting the classic blue. That's what Mitch is about. Worldwide Wob, shout out to him. He said in January, Mitchell Robinson may be the most important role player in the NBA. And every single time he steps on that court, he proves it. Think about this. He was out in game 2. That game was a dogfight. He's here in game 3. And for all intents and purposes, the 4th quarter was just a basket. What do we call it? Traded baskets. It was just trading baskets for the most part. They got close, and then the Knicks leaned forward in the chair and started playing the game for real. And then they pulled away. And he wasn't even on the court there, but the fact that he hung over the Sixers as a specter that could appear and control the game. What he has, 6.6 boards.
It doesn't matter. He was
full control.
He was a plus 16 in 19 minutes. That's the Mitchell Robinson effect. That's what I'm not trying to sit here and be like, no, it's an insult to call him a role player. It's not. He's a role player, but there are role players who change series, who change games, who change series.
Superstar role player. Role player is not a pejorative, y'all. Like it's you. What did sorry, Andrew. What did Belichick say? Do your job. Everybody do your job. He is the quintessential do your job player. Like that's what it is. Like he is a superstar role player. If he had healthy legs, he would be one of the best centers in the NBA because he would never come off the court. That's how real it is at this point. So you got to also shout out, like in totality, the bench. They outscored. I'm not counting the rec center hoops. I'm not counting LA Fitness time. They outscored the Sixers 28-8. And those 8 were 2 fourth quarter jumpers, threes from Quentin Grimes, who all of a sudden awoke because he's like, well, Paul George ain't hitting shots. Y'all seen that bullshit he put up in game 2. Let me handle something. And Dominic Barlow with like a dunk or something. That was it. And it was all in the fourth quarter. This bench proved that the Knicks have one of the deepest rosters in the league. And just because you have bodies doesn't mean you're deep. They have to be players who are also effective, that can come in at any moment and there's no drop off. And that's what the Knicks are showing. Business-like, surgical hoops. I love to see it, man.
The only relevant bench points I'm pretty sure the Barlow 2 came after the game was over. The only relevant bench points of the game, I think,
were Grimes' 6.
Were the two Grimes' threes. But like for the Knicks, obviously had the 15 from Shamet, Jose Alvarado's 3, which I believe came early in the second quarter as the Knicks were really flipping the momentum in the game. That felt big in the moment. Mitchell Robinson obviously had a 6. Shout out, Mitch, making half your free throws. Keep doing that. You're gonna prevent people from doing that strategy. And then I mentioned Jordan Clarkson as well. Like, it's just a deep team. It's a deep team. It's a real team. I'm gonna sit here and we'll go through all the super chats and we'll sing their praises for the rest of the night. Before I let you go, though, looking forward, series is actually not over yet.
No,
I don't know. They don't call it in 3 games, although they probably should when a team goes up 3-0.
You wouldn't know it from watching the Sixers.
Yeah,
I think they're broken, bro. And I'm not talking shit. I'm not projecting. I'll say this. I think those guys are going to fight in game 4.
I think they will too.
I think they're going to fight, but they've tried everything.
If you're the Knicks, I'll just ask you one question. Do you play OG?
No. Like OG gotta fight people if he want to play tomorrow. He gotta legitimately put hands on somebody to play tomorrow. Other than that, bro, we need you, but we can get this done. If we don't get it done on Sunday, we'll see you on Tuesday. But we can get this done, brother. We trust me. Nobody want to see OG hoop more than me. I'm just hoping he puts some Tiger Balm on it and let's run. And I just want him to continue to ascend and to make contributions. But at this point, like, John, let's break it down real quick. What are the Sixers going to do? Game 1, you had Embiid. He was probably the healthiest he was going to be in this series. And you got the doors blown. You got your cheeks clapped by 51 points. Everybody said, oh, they tired and whatnot. It's a long trip from Philly to New York. It's 89 long miles, y'all. Like they just came in from Boston and then had to hop on a bus for 2 hours to get to Manhattan. They probably were drained. All right, cool. Game 2, Embiid 6. Y'all go with your NASCAR F1 offense. We speeding. Yeah. Maxey still can't get enough field goal attempts. First half P goes crazy. They beat the Knicks in multiple relevant categories. The Knicks pull it out because 23-9 turnovers. So now their defense carried them when y'all had a clear advantage. And it was all the makings of a letdown game. Game 3, Embiid comes back. His check engine light went on, then off, then on, then off, then on, then off. You know when it's blinking, it's spooky, especially if you didn't get your inspection yet, because it ain't happening.
He ain't passing. No, Jeff. He ain't passing no inspection.
Oh, no. You know, you're going to have to go to one of them shops.
Yeah, we know those shops.
I'm going to keep it at that. You're going to have to go to one of them shops if you want Embiid's inspection to pass, right? So Embiid comes back. They feel compelled to make Embiid part of this offense. So he's going to get the shots. This man is taking threes. This man is literally falling into players trying to make something happen. Paul George has an incredible first quarter. Oubre has his best game of the series. Grimes is hitting shots. All of this. And you were never really close.
Nope.
You got to 4, and that was it. The Knicks led. If I tell you this, like y'all watching in the stream, y'all watching in the replay gang, I'm here from the past to tell you, you are the future. The Knicks led for 32 minutes in this game. You would think I was making that up.
No, man, that's wild because the way this game started off, the first 5 minutes of the game, it was like, we're going to have to battle the whole night just to get back to even. And I remember in the first quarter, I was sitting there being like, man, this is going to be one of those games. They're going to go up 15, 16, 17 points. We're going to fight all the way back. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it's going to be a war.
And then before you know it, it was the beginning of the second quarter. It's like, oh, they're winning. And now they're winning by 5. And now they're winning by and it's just that's what good teams do, man.
So we thought this was the Alamo, but this is ending up looking like Juneteenth.
Oh my!
Because the war been over. The war been over for a few years, and we got to send somebody to Galveston to let the Sixers know, hey, you know what y'all doing over here? We've outlawed that. General Lee, he said no mas. I'm sorry, guys. You had a good run. Someone else is going to have to get that cotton for you.
Oh, no.
It's just what it is. I think this is the Juneteenth Sixers going on right now. What else are they going to do? Like, barring catastrophic things, what else can you do? You know what you do? Yo, the Knicks played desperate, and they were up 2-0. They want souls. They want souls.
Jeff.
These guys are hungry. They are like millionaire rappers who still want to chart at the top of the chart. They still want to go 8 times platinum, 9 times platinum, and they're not settling.
They spotted him 9 points. They spotted him 9 points off the bat.
And they didn't even break 100 again. What are we supposed to say at this point, y'all? What are we supposed to say?
I'm sure Philly fans are saying stuff.
Yo, super chats, regular chats, Eddie chats. Please tell me if I'm wilding. Tell me what else am I supposed to believe? What am I supposed to believe after this? This was the Sixers that were supposed to win in 6. These were the Sixers that were more talented than the Knicks. These are the Sixers where Jaylen Brunson is the 4th fucking best player in the series. This is what y'all told me. And y'all told me fucking lies. That's what you told me. And at this point, NBA, stop lying to yourself. Enough is enough. We need to talk hoops again. Not narratives, not fan fiction, not analytical porn. We need to talk basketball again. You see it with your eyes. Now it's time for you to believe. Enough is enough. Enough with the disrespect. Y'all see people who are saying this bullshit? Don't amplify it. Just know they don't know ball. They don't know ball. And now they're going to come back hat in hand. Your Knickerbockers. Your Knickerbockers, sir. Knickerbockers, sir. We were mistaken. We were blinded by the faith of Paul George and Embiid. 1,000 pardons, my lords. We know you are now serious contenders. That's what it is at this point. That's what it is. Like, what else is there to say, John?
There was only one more thing left to say. And it's actually breaking news, which I'm happy to break on this pod. I don't usually do the news breaking stuff much anymore, but I can confirm it, so I will get it out there. Tim Bontemps' prediction of Sixers in 6 actually cannot come true now. It is not possible.
Damn. So it's been ruled out for the rest of the season.
It has been ruled out. It is out. It was questionable, and then it got moved to doubtful, and now it is out.
Yes, a crushing blow to the Knicks for Clicks industrial complex, as they now will have to find another head of Hydra to grow in its place.
They have a deeper bench than the Sixers. I'll say that.
Oh no, they're the deepest bench in the history of media. They are the deepest bench. We might be part of the deep state and not even know it.
It's very mysterious. Okay, I don't got anything else.
Mysterious. The work is mysterious. That's what.
Coming to my headphones.
Hey, woman. How'd you get with a real man?
Run up those steps.
Enjoy Chick-fil-A, you losers! What up, John? Jeff, my goodness, you are on one. Philly. Apparently, there's a third consecutive L now in Philly. Oh, man. Joel Embiid, you said too small to Mitchell Robinson, and then he baptized your ass on the same rim you tried to end his career on. Kelly Oubre, what was this? Jaylen Brunson's got a big head. You got a big L. Second straight series, you got nothing for him. As Jeff said, he's the best player in this series. He's the best player in that building.
He's the best player in the state of Pennsylvania.
Nova, stand up. Nova Knicks, stand up. Embiid, open your checkbook. I thought no Knicks fans were taking over. MVP chance in the fourth quarter, and they weren't for you.
Oh.
Jay Wright used to coach at Hofstra University before Villanova. That's why I'm wearing this shirt tonight.
Hell yeah.
Proud Hofstra alum.
Hell yeah.
You're welcome, Pennsylvania.
Bontemps, where are you? Bontemps, where are you?
He's editing his tweet.
I have never seen a 360 flop before until Joel Embiid did one in the third quarter.
Tell you, booyaka, booyaka, 619, booyaka, booyaka.
Philly, thank you so much for giving me a night to laugh at the city of Boston. By the way, Boston, how did you lose 4 times to this team?
Because they were, you know what? I was about to cross the line. I was gonna say,
Celtics are having a worse couple of weeks than Mike Vrabel.
Listen,
Matt Green! Oh no!
From downtown.
Oh man!
Hey! But look, there's only difference. At least the Celtics tell you that they shoot their shot.
Exactly.
They don't front about it.
Exactly.
That's the only difference. I gotta give them that credit. They will shoot their shot, and you will know.
They're designing the shot
over again.
They're designing the shot variance banner as we speak. They're gonna raise it on opening night.
Burn all Excel spreadsheets in New England. Hang your abacuses at half-mast. We are here to celebrate the return of the eye test, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell yeah. Ethical
You better
hoops
get
forever.
on Data Baller. You better get on dunks and threes. And you better look. You better be like Neo. You better see the zeros and ones because you got to do different calculations. Sixers, I'm sorry. We're not putting up 100 threes. New York City is not putting up 2,000 threes to let you back in the game. What else are they supposed to do? If I'm a Sixers fan, what do you say? Yo, I'm already talking about Sixers fans talking about, I'm ready for the draft. I don't watch basketball. It's that real.
Jeez.
We don't watch basketball anymore. Fly, Eagles, fly. Where is A.J. Brown going? You can't get away from this.
Sixers could use him. They should trade for him.
At this point, a playable 7th guy would do well on the Sixers right now.
You know who could do? You know who they could use?
Who?
Jared McCain.
Oh, you know what?
Awesome,
Was he available at the deadline? I think he got traded.
Yo, I think he was. You know what? You know, this economy, these fucking tariffs, we gotta get picks in here.
Indeed.
So why don't we just send him somewhere that don't need him? Like the fucking best team in the league. Why don't we just send Jared McCain there? We're not gonna need him. It's not like we're going to the playoffs. And oh shit, we got the 7th seed?
But Jeff, they sold high. They sold high. I don't know if you heard that.
Anytime you could trade a playable rotation piece before a playoff run for a 17-year-old, you got to do it, Jeff.
I wish I was his social media manager because the TikToks we would be firing up. Boy, y'all hate that man now. He'd be like me because, I can't go to Philly for at least 3 years after 2024. After 2024, I was on every
unwanted
news
posters.
channel.
Yeah.
Every news channel in the Philly metro area because we took over that building. We took over that, and it was an encore. It was an encore today. I got a lot of FOMO, but I'm glad I was here with y'all to talk about this squad. And look, the job ain't finished.
No, it's not.
I'm pleased, but I'm not satisfied. Now, y'all showed me what good life living is looking like, right? It's like...
It's a good life.
Look, I got my wife. I ain't going nowhere. What am I supposed to do after that? Like, you at a certain level, I can't go back to the streets. I can't go back to the slums. What am I supposed to do? I flew first class. I'm supposed to go back and coach with the regular folk? You let me drive your Maybach. What am I supposed to do? What am I?
Run ISO, John.
I gotta go back to my Honda. I love it, but do you know that the seats are heated at each point of your back? Like you can get a neck massage in a car. I never experienced that before in my life. Am I in Bed Bath and Body Works or am I trying to get to work? Knicks, we cannot go back. You showed us the lap of luxury. We cannot go back. We can't. We're here now. Now we got to buy the penthouse. Y'all better hit Chalamet or one of these guys because the price has gone up. The price of the brick is up. We cannot put the price down. We cannot lower the price. We cannot lower our level of comfort. We cannot decrease our living experience, bro. Our quality of life has increased as Knicks fans to the point where you have assholes saying that the Knicks winning by 8 plays with their food and could cause injury. This is the reality we're in. I don't know what earth I slid into, but I hope my family in the other earth is cool. I'll get there eventually. I got to see what happens with these Knicks because it's very different, bro. What are the Sixers going to do? Andrew, get up here, Andrew. Well, y'all get back. Y'all come back. What are the Sixers supposed to do? I want to know this.
What they're supposed to do is what that city and what that franchise of basketball fans, or what that city of basketball fans of that franchise has done for the entirety of my life. They're going to lose. Okay. Thank you for beating Boston. Seems pretty clear it was way more about Boston than you.
You know how
they're
that
gonna
feels,
do it.
By the way.
Believe me, we enjoyed getting our jokes off. Isn't it great watching a Boston team lose the only way they know how to play? Yeah, we had fun with it last year. Thank you for getting your jokes off in the first round, Philly. Much like Joe Mazzulla's favorite movie, the Not Fucking Around crew showed up in the second round, and it's why you're facing another Mother's Day massacre on Sunday, unfortunately.
Boy, they got 12 minutes in that first quarter to fight for their lives. Mm-hmm. And I say this for Sixers fans, I'm telling you, your team is going to tell you whether they're ready to go to Manhattan or Margaritaville in the first 10 to 12 minutes of that game because the Knicks smell blood, brother. This is these are the New York Knickerbockers.
Indeed.
I don't know who these guys are. I love them, though. They can never go back either. But these guys are playing as if they're down 3-0.
Desperate, yeah.
Ice up, y'all. Ice up.
John, you're muted that whole time. You're still muted, by the way.
Sorry.
You're good. Hold on. There's one thing I wanted to do, and I need Kevin's help for this.
Sure.
Okay. What up, Kev?
Kevin of House Words. What's going on?
Kevin of House Words. All right.
Gang.
I wanted to do a poll with you guys. So, Kev, in the second, third, and fourth quarter tonight, how many points did you score?
Second, in total. Out of the 3 quarters, I scored 0 points.
Okay. John, in the second, third, and fourth quarter tonight, how many points did you score?
The same amount as my lovely daughter sitting over here, 0.
So we have both of you scored 0 points combined.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so between the 3 of you, it's 0. All right, Jeff, in the second, third, and fourth quarter, how many points did you score?
Well, I did score 2, but they waved it off because they called an offensive foul on me when Embiid jumped off the screen, when he got knocked off the screen like Super Smash Brothers.
Side note,
I've been held to 0 for 3.
So you had 0. Side note, you know it's bullshit when Mikal Bridges, who apparently committed the most dirty, egregious foul in the game 1, was merely behind Joel Embiid, and he still fell down. I've never seen a guy like that could just fall down and be that much bigger than the person behind him.
Ain't that much on the floor to be slipping on.
I also scored 0 points tonight. The 5 of us, with Izzy factored in, and Paul George combined for the same number of points after the first quarter tonight. Shout out to Playoff P, and shout out to the very moronic takes out of Philly that the Sixers had the best wing in the series. I hope you enjoyed that first quarter and that heater from 3. Apparently, with our second best wing, we were still able to outplay you. Don't wait until the series is over and I can do a collection of how many wins all of us have combined in the second round, in the third round, which would be more than Joel Embiid.
Real quick for y'all, because I know it's about this time to say sayonara. Landry Shamet was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes, he was.
In the same draft as one Mitchell Robinson. Yep. They traded him his rookie year.
They traded him after he had a nice start to the season to the Clippers, and that was in the Tobias Harris trade, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Our old friend Tobias Harris. And payback is a bitch, y'all.
Yeah, shout out Long Island. Yeah. Speaking of that draft, by the way, you know who else they drafted in that draft and then traded him on draft night? That'd be one Mikal Bridges, who seemed to love his homecoming tonight. Yeah.
His mom worked for the team.
Worked for the team.
They had his
and they were like, no, we're good.
Man.
Have you ever done anything for the city of Philadelphia, Mikal? Is there banners hanging here? Have you hung more banners than Joel Embiid in Wells Fargo Arena?
She said, I'm so happy he could stay home and da-da-da-da.
No,
we have a trade announced.
Enjoy Phoenix.
Listen, what you mean with a Phoenix? Let me call somebody. Let me make some calls. Daryl?
Jeff, virtuoso performance from you tonight.
Appreciate you. I appreciate it. I just want to know what they're supposed to do. I had to channel Sixers fans, like for real. Like what? I can't even be mad at Nick Nurse, bro. No. I can't. Who the fuck is he supposed to play? Is this what the other side of the tips?
If they're blaming the coach, man,
it is. Yeah,
it is. Right.
If they're blaming the coach
out there for 20 yes.
John Barlow.
Justin Edwards is just collecting dust.
Dalen Terry. Yeah.
Yo, Dominic Barlow is good though, y'all. I like quietly.
So I will say there was a stretch in this game in the second quarter where he got put in. Where he had 4 fouls. Oh, excuse me, he had 4 minutes. He was a -5 and had 2 fouls. And then Adembona in his 2 minutes had 1 foul. And it's like, so you guys combined scored 0 points and had 3 fouls in your 5 minutes or a -6. I'm with you, Nick Nurse. What is he supposed to do? And look, can I just have one serious moment? We're laughing at the city of Philadelphia. You know, I wake up with the desire to laugh at the city of Philadelphia. Apparently, when they were holding a moment of silence before the game for Nick Nurse's brother, a Knicks fan, a moronic Knicks fan, shouted out, "Let's go Knicks," during said moment of silence. They do not represent us. Hopefully they don't represent the majority of the city. We know that Nick Nurse is coaching with a heavy heart. So for that, we send our condolences to Nick Nurse and 100%. To his family, of course.
And I hope they kick that motherfucker out. I hope he took the train and they kicked his ass out.
Right. I hope he has to walk back to wherever he's coming from. Back. Exactly. That's unnecessary.
And I'm glad the whole arena apparently booed him out.
Right.
The whole arena.
Which is the right way to do it. Right way to do it. Okay. We can get back to laughing at the city of Philadelphia, which is one of my favorite things to do.
All right. Jeff, you're the man. I look forward to the next time we get to talk about basketball, which will not be too long because we get to do that a lot nowadays.
Hey, look, we might have a few off days, brother.
So I hope so.
I was telling John really during the watch along, which by the way, I need to recommend the watch along, the rewatch to everybody. Go watch the last 3 minutes. Knicks are up by 16 with 3:12 to play, and John is panicking.
I'm not panicking.
No. John, panicking.
No, panicking.
Sean and I are throwing jokes out there, and John is like, still time left. Still time. They're staring at the clock. And it's like, guys,
I get it. That's voices in my head. I'm like Randy.
It's in my head. I exhaled though. The Sixers made it 105-91, and he was like, all right, it's 14, the same deficit as Aaron Nesmith last year. PTSD is real. I get it. I just recommend people go watch how John watched the last.
I'll review the tape.
Game.
Well,
Okay,
I'll talk to
very
medical.
funny.
I'll talk to
Okay.
medical.
And one last thing, forever. Okay, for whenever. So we've been blessed with 2 posters from this postseason. Okay, we get this anytime someone in Philly talks smack, and we get this anytime someone in Atlanta wants to say anything. I look forward to the one we get next round.
That's
okay.
fire.
Yes.
That is super fire.
Yo,
Indeed.
All these years, NBA, we told you, leave us the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
We told y'all, leave us alone. Now y'all got to do your own version of freaking voodoo to try to keep them out. And it ain't going to work.
In the words
It
of
don't work.
Jeff Johnson from last year's season finale of the after school casual Friday, whatever you were doing then, what you said at the end of last year was that one day we will have our day. And when we have that day, it will be the worst day for everybody else.
It's going to be the series finale of the NBA.
Mhm.
Possibly the series finale of New York City. I hope it's not, but I have to be real. Listen, our mayor was asked straight up, what are you going to do? And his face,
Shrug.
he knows. He said,
Shrug.
that's all you can do.
I don't know.
That's all you could do, bro. But
Rebuild.
one step at a
Rebuild.
time, one
Yeah.
foot in front of the other. Let's get these motherfuckers out of here. Let's get them out of here. Let's assert ourselves for a change. Let's put the pressure on the other side of the bracket. You better get out of yours as quickly as we about to get out of ours.
Indeed.
And the Joel Embiid watch is officially on because that game is at 3:30. He don't even got 48 hours. He got like 36. So I don't know, y'all.
Jeff, bravo.
We'll see if he shows up. Well done by you, Jeff. Thank you very much.
What's up, Knicks fans? This NBA playoffs, don't let an injury rule out your bets, especially when every game is on the line. While other sportsbooks may box you out, Fanatics Sportsbook's Fair Play protects all bets from first half injuries. So if your player gets injured in the first half, Fanatics Sportsbooks make sure to keep your bet out on the court. Make the switch today and find more ways to win with Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here.